Overcoming Lobha, the excessive greed. What is greed? Our desires never really end. When our first desire gets fulfilled, we develop a second desire and then a third one. One just keeps running after desires all the time. When these uncontrolled and excessive desires are for material objects like cars, money, houses, etc., they are called greed. Our scriptures call the greed as lobha. Greed is the condition of the mind in which one is not satisfied even after gaining what one initially wants. Absence of contentment even after having gained the object of desire means the individual is greedy. Unfortunately, greed in human beings is not based upon how much one has. Most animals are programmed to take what is absolutely necessary for them. Occasionally, some may store for the next meal or for the winter. Human beings hoard far more than they really need. Greed expresses as wanting more and more of what one already has. It may express as having difficulty in parting what we have or as wanting what others have. What are the harms of greed? We forget the difference between our needs and wants. Sometimes we all become a little greedy and hoard more than what we actually want. Before asking for an object, we should ask ourselves, now, do I really need it? We spoil our friendships and family relationships. No one likes a greedy person. He makes no friends because he does not want to share his possessions with anyone. Because of our greed, others can become sad and poor. Therefore, we should give up greed. Instead, we should share our extra things with others. We do wrong things. Greed makes us do inappropriate things. Very often, we read about people stealing things from a shop. What is interesting is that sometimes the thief is not a poor person. Rather, he is a rich man who just could not resist the temptation of possessing an expensive object. We also read about people who are rich, but they are so greedy that they do not hesitate to cheat others. Bhagavad Gita says, desire, anger, and greed are the three gates to hell. Conquering the greed by distinguishing between need and want. A practical way to overpower greed is to learn how to distinguish between our needs and wants. We want a lot of things in our life every day. But do we really need all those things? Our rishis have narrated the following story of a man who did not differentiate his needs and his greedy wants. Finally, Bhagavan Vishnu made him realize that his greed was only landing him into trouble and that what he really needed was very different from what he wanted. The story of the greatest boon of Bhagavan Vishnu. A householder was in the habit of asking newer and newer things from Bhagavan Vishnu in his prayers every day. Finally fed up, Bhagavan Vishnu appeared in front of the man and said, "Look, for one last time, I will grant you 3 wishes. Just 3. Think and ask me those 3 wishes. I will not grant you any more wishes again. You can ask them in as much time as you like." The householder was happy but also nervous. He could ask for any 3 things. But what should those 3 things be? However, he had no difficulty asking for the first one. He immediately asked, "Lord, I am sick and tired of my wife. I want you to take her soul so that she is dead." Vishnu granted that wish and said, "When you want the other 2 wishes to be granted, remember me and I will be back." The householder was performing the funeral of his late wife. He was smiling within, but all the mourners were weeping. His children were inconsolable. They all narrated what a good lady she had been. She dutifully did all the household tasks, was a diligent mother, and was very respectful and loving towards everyone. The man realized that perhaps he had not realized her real worth. He felt very guilty as to what he had done. So he thought of Bhagavan Vishnu and asked for his second wish to come true. "May my wife come back to me." A miracle happened and his wife was alive. Everyone was overjoyed. Later, when he was with his close confidants and friends, he revealed how Bhagavan Vishnu had granted him few wishes, but he lamented that he had only one wish left and did not know how he should use it. "Perhaps I should ask for immortality," he said to them. "Of what use is immortality if you keep sick? So ask for good health," one of his friends said. The second friend said, "Of what use is a long life or good health if your friends die before you? So ask that your friends are with you forever." The third friend said, "Maybe you should ask for a lot of wealth, because sometimes even friends can desert you if you are not wealthy." The householder got many more opinions and he was even more confused than ever. That night he could not sleep. He went out for a walk and prayed to Bhagavan Vishnu and said, "Only you know how I should use my last wish. Please suggest the best thing that I could ask for." Lord Vishnu appeared before him and said smilingly, "My son, learn to be content what you get from your hard work. Do not keep earning for what you do not get from your efforts. I will give you the gift of contentment with the results of your labor, because that is the most precious treasure that you can have." The householder learned his lesson. He bowed to God in reverence and saw him for one last time before he disappeared. Sage Shaunaka says thus in Mahabharata: the thirst for riches never ends. Therefore, contentment alone is real happiness. For this reason, the wise perceive contentment as the best wealth. Namaste.